Views and opinions expressed in this episode of the Psychic Chat Show are those of the guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Gareth Lewis and the Psychic Chat Show podcast. Any content provided by our guests are of their opinion and not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organisation, company, individual, or anyone or anything. Welcome to the Psychic Chat Show with me, Gareth Lewis. On this week's episode, we have with us Stewart Legg. Stewart is not only a psychic medium, but also works as a trance medium. He will be sharing with us his experiences as a trance medium and also about his guide, White Eagle. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce this week's guest, Stewart Legg. So welcome, Stewart, and thank you for joining us this week on the Psychic Chat Show. And it's going to be such an interesting chat today to talk about trance. How are you today? Okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on there.
No problem. It's such a privilege. I'm looking forward to this, to be able to talk about trance. I know with myself and my own views, I'm not saying there's a bit of a taboo by it, but there is this still kind of interest with me, you know. So no matter what you do and what you're interested in, you know, we're always trying to learn about different things. So thank you for coming and sharing not only your experiences, but also sharing your knowledge in trance. But before we go into the trance side, Stewart, just tell me a little bit about yourself. You know, how did you become aware of spirit, or what's your earliest memory of spirit?
I've become aware of spirit since I was a child. I had experiences in the house. There was a phenomena within the house as well. My mum didn't really like it, so she shut it down. But as I moved up within my age and stuff like that, I got more attached to it, and I was very, very skeptical at first, and then I started seeing things happen around me, what was physically happening, like with spirit, if that makes sense. And then I started sitting in close circle, and then I went to an open circle, and then I went to a closed circle. Then I went my own pathway of developing my trance ability. So I started my physical circle, and then I developed my trance within that. If you understand what I mean.
And so before we kind of go onto the actual trance side of it, you kind of mentioned your family there. So were they not believers?
My mum's a medium. She's a medium herself. My nan's a medium herself as well. My nan does automatic writing, and my mum she can do like anything. Like, yeah, she used to sit in circle as well. My gran used to believe in it as well. So it runs in the blood. So yeah.
You said before about your mum shutting it down. What do you mean by that? Did she not want you to do this?
No, she didn't want the phenomena side of things in the house because of the children, because I've got like 8 brothers. So, yeah.
Right, so it was a case of because she knew and she was aware.
Yeah, she knew, she sensed it and like see it physically. Yeah.
Kind of like putting that protection around the family as such.
Yeah.
Shutting it down to say this is a load of rubbish because needing herself to doing that and protecting. Which is great. So you talk about your mum there. And also family. Is it just you then who takes after your mum and your grandmother, or is it throughout your family as well?
I think it goes back in decades. I think it because I think
sisters, do they? What about your siblings?
One of my brothers does it as well. We went to church together and sat together. Obviously, bless him, but he come out a bit too soon, but he should have just sat back within the power first before he moved forward. I just sat back and let him do his own thing and learn his own lessons, you know, because I just felt I needed to go from within and to find my inner self and find what they actually want me to do. Yeah. So
it's interesting you say that, you know, because I think a lot of and I've spoken about this in previous episodes, that sometimes it's important before we go on to actually being a medium of whatever, or even a healer, it's important to discover yourself and to find out who you are.
You know, who you are as a person, and who your guides are, and everything around you. When you find your inner self, everything around you opens up, and everything like positivity comes towards you and attracts a lot of things as well, if that makes sense.
You see, it's kind of interesting we talk about that. I don't want to go off the subject because we'll come back on to, but you just mentioned something like that. And I have so many people, and even through talking, if nothing else, Stuart, I'm learning such a lot. And I've been doing this.
Yeah, we all learn every day, don't we?
You know,
So,
yeah. One of my things is I'm a half cup empty kind of person. And
yeah,
we look more positively, then positive will come around us, you know. And that's
like attracts like, doesn't it? Yeah.
I say positive discover ourselves.
And I am a believer in karma as well. So, yeah.
So you kind of, you know, you talk about going to the spiritualist church with your brother, and, you know, it's been a year. So what took you from one day just being Stewart to actually thinking, I'm going to go to church?
I was very, I don't know where to go into it, actually. Yeah, I will go into it. When I was at school, I was very, very naughty because of my dyslexic. I was a very naughty boy. I used to get excluded every day and stuff like that. And I struggled reading and writing. Like, I can't read or write. That's why Trudy helps me with my admin and stuff like that, and I respect her for that. Because and then I can concentrate, and I feel this is my life's purpose of doing this work, because I couldn't concentrate of doing like reading and writing and things like that, and going on to bigger things. Like physically, I feel this is my life's purpose, doing this work. So yeah,
it is good, because you've got to look at it as well, Stuart, of how many lessons that you've learned and how you've discovered people. Going through those times in your life where you found it difficult. And in the episodes previously, which people can go back to and listen to, when we talked to Jenny, and she talked about her mental health, and she talked about struggling.
Yeah, I have had mental health. Yeah.
So, you know, and it's just like little life experiences that we pick up and we learn, and then we can take on to be more compassionate and more empathetic towards other people. Yeah. Just quickly, so people know, you mentioned Trudy there, and I know Trudy, she kind of helps you with not just that side, but she sits with you when you go into trance.
Yeah, she sits with me when I go to trance. She's my control, if you want to call it, for when I come back round as well, because I'm not always aware sometimes.
Yeah, it's just
within my consciousness.
It's just so when people actually think, oh, who's that? So it's just someone who will help you, sit with you, because sometimes it's good to have someone there when you come out to the stage.
Yeah, it's good for that confidence.
And you know, like I said, I've got my own views, like a lot of people.
Everything
over the years. I've seen many trance mediums over the years, and you know, sometimes you can look and you think, well, are they just putting a voice on? Are they, you know, you see these TV mediums. You
feel the energy. You feel it come in with your energy field. Like you got your throat chakra, and they use your vocal cords to change and switch your voice. Because when I go to my safe place, which is a lake, I go by a lake and we transpire. So he comes in within my energy and uses me as a vessel to communicate with people like yourself. Yeah.
That's, I mean, the mechanics, again, in a previous episode, we touched on trance with medium Tim Abbott, who's also a tutor and, you know, accredited trance medium as well. You know, and he touched on the mechanics of it, which there is a lot of mechanics behind. It's not just and this is why sometimes it upsets me when I see people and they're just talking to you like this, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, and they put on, and there's so many.
There is so many non-genuine people out there. Yeah, I agree with you.
In many instances as well, Stuart. We've got to say it's not just with what we do. In a lot of industries, there's good and bad professional people, you know. But because of what we do and because of what you do as well, people think sometimes it's just fair game that they can, you know.
No, it is. Well, it is a way of life, and it's a reality of life. Like some experiences, like people have had within their life, it can change for the better, you know. So,
if you can you just take us through, and the people listening and watching this, can you just take us through, say, I don't go too much into, you know, but can you just take us through the process? So say you're going to do a demonstration, or you're going into a reading, a one-to-one. What's the process of doing that?
What building up to that reading? Is that what you mean?
Up to it, and sitting with those moments before you actually, before, I'm not going to say before Stewart leaves Stewart and your guy comes in.
Yeah.
Sure. You spoke before about the voice and the voice box and that. So what's the process? What does it feel like?
Well, the build up is I meditate first before any sort of sitting. Even when I do demonstrations in public places, sometimes because you have a clear mind, then they're more likely to come more stronger within your energy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And when they come forward, you can feel the energy. You can feel like your voice change, and sometimes you can hear it slightly go, and then it suddenly comes back when you go to your safe place. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
So could you talk about going to your safe place? So that's Stewart. That's the soul and the spirit of Stewart going to
the spirit. Yeah.
You step aside and you allow your guide to not necessarily take over, but
to come within my energy. Yeah, to come within my energy. So it's like you're in a massive corridor, and then we transpire, and I go to my lake, you want to call it, and then he comes in my energy field and takes over me. It's like another person's in my body. It's like overshadowing, like, sort of thing. Like that's what it basically is, overshadowing and inspiring what you got to say to that individual.
So when a medium works, and we talk about the altered states of consciousness, we kind of we switch our conscious state to be able to give that.
We do switch our conscious mind. It like when I go into an altered state, Trudy knows that it's not my mind, it's his mind, and he inspires me every day, and that's how she knows that it's him, if you know what I mean.
So before we go on, because we've got to, not physically and not by giving a demonstration, but we've got to introduce your guide. Who is your guide? And
my guide is a Native American Indian. His name's White Eagle. He comes from the Apache tribe, Ponca tribe. Sorry, Trudy's just Ponca tribe. He's from South Dakota, Red Rock Lake. Is it something like that? So
you've kind of you've been given that from him. You've been told.
Yeah, I've given that from him. Yeah.
Has that been validated? So has that been kind of validated by, let's say, another medium, or
Yes, it has been validated from another medium, various of respective mediums as well. Yeah.
I think sometimes when we talk about guides, we can talk about them, and really they can't be proved.
But this is the good thing, because I used to think it's not him, and I used to question it every single day. Come on, please show me yourself that you're actually working with me. And one day, I wish I had pictures. Well, I have got pictures, but I can't show you on here. I've got pictures where he's overshadowed me in my face, and you can see the face on top of my face and stuff like that, where he's shown himself. So
I think one of the best ways of, we don't have to prove anything to anybody. Prove it to us.
No, it's not down to prove. It's down to
just validate to me. Just so I know, and they do. They'll give it in a way. And when I quite a few years ago about my guy. You know, the following year, I must have had 2-3 different mediums. Again, mediums turn around and say, "And I've got to give you this." You know, and that's just my validation, saying that's fine. I asked for it. You've given it me. Thank you very much.
Very much.
So when you work in this altered state, and how much would you say that your mind, especially at the beginning when you first started doing this, how much do you think your mind kicked in?
Yeah.
You find that struggle between...
It is a struggle at first, but once you get hang of it, and once you get to that altered state, it's easier. So they take you deeper, and you learn as you go as well. So as you go deeper, you get used to the energy constantly. When you sit, every time you sit, you get used to that energy, and they blend a lot stronger until you feel comfortable enough to do that. Yeah.
So really, it's like mediumship as well. It's like with dual. You know, they're not going to take you on to the next level until like they feel comfortable and you feel comfortable. And it's like medium as well. So do you think that, I mean, we've always got further to learn and further to go. Do you think that your trance is taking another step? So should we say, because we have things like you mentioned earlier before, overshadowing, and then we have another state where then we've got transfiguration. So do you think that your trance is progressing in that way, or is it just going to be a case of just giving transmission?
Yeah, it's mainly to do with he's helping people understand the way of life, how to live their life. The other day he healed Trudy as well. He wants to heal people as well, because he explains where the problem is within their body, and he goes to that place. Like I stand up and he comes through and he explains where that place is, that problem, what needs healing. Obviously it's not curable, but the recipient has to believe it to some sort of certain extent for it to work, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think it was in the last episode or the one before, we were talking to Steve Mayers, who does trance healing, and he was doing a similar kind of thing, you know, of being directed through healing. So there's many aspects that you can use faculty of. So you talk about White Eagle there, and he works with you. At what point did you think, or is there other guides, or is it just him?
There is other guides, but this is the reason why he comes forward, is because he wants to. He used to work with Katie. He used to work with Grace Cook. Yeah, he used to work with Grace Cook. She used to be a materialization medium. And Florence Cook used to come through as well, and they used to have full materialization reports, everything. You know, he's been told that he's done predictions and that, and some of the predictions have come true as well, of within the sittings as well. So
that kind of like answered my next question, kind of thing. You know, does this one guy just work with you, or do they work with many other people?
No, he work with various people. Like my guide comes in and he has like shown himself like materialized within the seance room as well, head to toe, and he's shown my sitters as well that he's there. And what else is it? Oh, gone lost there. So he's gone to lots of other people as well. He's shown himself to other people, and he's proved it as well when he's spoken through me. So he's clarified it as well that they've seen him.
So when you're giving, I mean, we've spoken before, Stewart, and
we have.
I'm not going to go into it because every reading is private, but Stewart's given me a reading.
It is,
And, I was very kind of impressed with what he was telling me, and it was different experience for me. So even though we've spoken to it a bit before, can you just explain to people about what they would expect, say, from you? What can, if the tournaments have asked you
what they respect from him? Is that what you mean? Yeah.
From the reading, shall we say? You know, so
the reading.
What is it? Is it evidential mediumship through this trance, or you know, what is it?
It's mediumship through the guide, because I believe everyone has a main guide. Like everyone has a main guide. So if the guide can, because the guide looks after you and protects you through anything out of life. Yeah, I believe. So that's why he comes through and gives people comfort and understanding and healing as well, because they need some understanding, and the recipient has to be the right recipient, otherwise the energies won't flow as well. Do you understand what I mean?
So through a reading, let's just say, for instance, because you did with me, you know, your granddad's here, you know.
Yeah.
Then would you then go on to give a message from, say, granddad or whoever that is?
Yeah, he would bring the granddad forward and explain what in detail of what this person looked like, what he done when he was on the earth, how he passed and stuff like that. Yeah, he would actually go in detail. Yeah.
So really, it's just another way, and another way of mediumship, you know. So
yeah. There's another trance medium I know who does exactly the same work, but they as well. But they do philosophy, and he does bring philosophy through if it's meant to happen, because there's no time in their world, you know.
Yeah, like I say, so really, it's having a mediumship reading like someone would go to a medium, but you know, I kind of think it's also another interesting way of having a reading as well.
Yeah, it's a different way of life, but it's more comforting, and you can feel the energy within your solar plexus as well. You can feel the pulling of when he comes through. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah.
It's it's interesting that there's so many different ways our medium works, you know. So many things that can happen as a medium works. So one thing what I've been asked before, and I'll ask you,
you can ask me.
Can it be dangerous, Stuart? Can it be dangerous not for me as a sitter, but can it be dangerous for you as in, you know, doing something like this, being in such a deep state, you know? Can it be dangerous if there's a loud noise?
It can be dangerous. It can be dangerous if it's not done correctly. Yeah, it can be dangerous. For example, when I sat in a place which used to be a pub, obviously, and this guy come forward, and he was very, very negative, and he explained it used to be a pub and everything, every little detail, explained his name and everything. He spoke through me. That the reason why that happened is because we never said a prayer. That's why that happened, and my guy come in and said, look, that's why it did. That's why it happened. Yeah. So yeah.
So, have you ever experienced where it's not your guide, and let's just say, for instance, just using this scenario, let's just say, for instance, it's my granddad. So have you ever had someone's loved one use your voice box, or is it always just a guide?
Yeah, they're trying to do that eventually. They are trying to do that eventually. Sometimes there is a slight change within the voice of when they come forward. So he brings them in closer and closer, and then the voice changes. His voice changes into theirs. Like, yeah.
Wouldn't that be wonderful, where you can sit in a reading, Stewart, and like you said before, and I totally agree with you. When a sitter leaves a reading, the evidence, I think, is just a little bit. You know,
yeah, it's a little bit.
When the sitter walks away and they feel the presence of that loved one, being around them. So wouldn't it be wonderful if you could sit in a reading and have someone say, like yourself, and you kind of like, should we say, you hear their voice, you hear the love.
Yeah, it might it might not be the exact voiced, like, because the voice box is different. So you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when they come in, sometimes it might not, definitely be them, but it's the voice box that changes. If you understand what I mean?
Yeah. So you know, I'm not saying it's exact. You know,
Yeah. It won't be exact, but it will be them. Yeah,
voice box is a physical. You know,
there'll be a combination between them. Yeah,
combination, but at least you've got that kind of sense as well.
yeah.
Transfiguration and overshadowing. So what's the
Yeah.
difference, would you say, between transfiguration and overshadowing?
What's the transfiguration and overshadowing?
Yeah.
It's slightly the same, but it's more in depth. So that, because when you have transfiguration, they build an ectoplasm mask or a mask within the energy field within your head. Yeah.
Right. So that's something. The reason I'm saying that's something you've just said as well with the voice box. You know,
Yeah.
and that's something that you're that you're now sitting for to.
I'm sitting for physical. I sit once a week, and you have to be dedicated every week because the energy is there, and you've got to be dedicated to it. Yeah.
Yeah. That transfiguration.
When I sit, I don't sit in red light. I just sit in complete darkness because that's what he wants me to do, because that's where the phenomena takes place.
Yeah.
So
So my understanding of, as I say, it's not a specialist field of mine, but I believe that when a medium does transfiguration, where they allow the spirit person or the guide to come forward, and you can see them build up in front of in that physical phenomena, then we all see that as an audience, so we see the same. And my understanding of when we're talking about overshadowing is I might see one thing, but then the person sat next to me will see something.
Might see something different, but that's the thing. It's not solid. When when you get an ectoplasm mask, everyone in the room can see it.
Yeah, and that is true transfiguration. This is where I think sometimes
people do get confused with that. Yeah, because I've sat with someone who's a physical medium, and they have an ectoplasm mask, and they bring people's loved ones through, and his guides and that come through first, and then they bring the loved ones through as well. Yeah.
You know, there is a difference. I think it's important to get that point across as well. That there's a difference between the physical phenomena, of the mask.
Yeah, but there is a difference between trance and physical mediumship. Yeah, because it's a different energy altogether.
Yeah, and this is what I was saying. This is why now you started to sit to progress lower, into that next level and that next stage.
Yeah.
Or do you do this private readings wise? Do you do it?
I do private readings. I do events. I'm connected to a college in America that they want me to do they want me to do some events for them, and they want to help me with my journey as well. So, and they're really, really pleased with their reading of what they want me to do. Yeah. So, and I do live question and answers as well.
Yeah. So then what you do you just do that at the moment? Nobody can go anywhere and do anything. So at the moment, you're doing that via technology.
It's all through Zoom and stuff like that. It's not physically. No, not yet. Anyway. I have done some events within the past. I've done a couple of events in the past. So, and that went very successfully well. So, there's probably one lady This is a story actually. because there was probably one lady. Her circle come to the sitting of the trance demonstration, and she couldn't take none of the information. But all her circle sitters took the information,
Right.
because she didn't like the truth.
Right.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of her circle members
Yeah.
were told they had more ability
Yeah.
than her.
Yeah, some of the circle had more ability than the actual teacher, but we've been told by my guide that no one is teachers. You are your own teachers. They are only advisors. Yeah.
Yeah. Not well. You know, nobody in this world can teach you how to be a medium.
No. Yeah.
You've got to work with your guides. The only thing
Yeah.
in this world is that when I do my classes, that I teach my mediumship, is I just aspects of different ways of working, presentation.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Used to be able to enhance mediumship. So you're starting there to go on to a journey of wanting to demonstrate more towards the public. Open evenings. Is that just in churches? Or are you looking at doing that on a wider scale?
I'm looking at doing wider scale. I have been offered to go to America, Australia, Canada as well. I've been offered to go to quite a few places, but it's locked down at this moment in time. Yeah.
I'm sure when there's opportunities come, I'm sure you're going to snap at them and they're going to enjoy. And it's amazing, you know, how we can get such opportunities, to be able to go out there and share our knowledge.
All he wants to do is help. All he wants to do is help people, heal people as well. That's all he wants to do. Yeah.
So, saying that, I'm going to ask you now, I know you mentioned a little experience there. So what's your best experience you've had as a trance medium or just a medium? And what's your worst experience you've had?
What's my worst experience I've had? It's like I said earlier, that's the worst experience I had is when I was in a place what used to be a pub, that negative energy come through. That's the worst experience I've had. And I've learned from that as well. And he come in and he said that's not a nice energy and blah blah blah. He protected everyone and send him on his way towards the light. So yeah.
What's your best experience?
What's the best experience I've seen? Mm-hmm. What with myself?
You're not with it
sometimes I'm not with it to tell people what my experiences are, because he's manifested himself, he's shown himself in pictures and stuff like that, and it jumped. And when the best experience I've had when I was on a live, and he actually showed himself in daylight.
Right.
He showed himself in an orb, in a bright orb, bright gold orb, and everyone could see it. Everyone.
That's got it, because it's given that truth.
So that confirmation, because sometimes I doubt myself as well, and that's the good confirmation as well. You know what I mean? I think it's good to question yourself as well. So
something there, and just very quickly before we come to an end with this, is you actually remember what you're saying?
I don't remember anything. No.
Remember anything?
Well, it's like I explained earlier. It's like you're in a corridor and you can only hear an echo. It's like that. Do you understand what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
You're not aware of anything happening.
No, I don't hear. I might hear a little bit. Don't get me wrong, but it's very dim. Yeah, it's very dim because I go to my safe place and I let him take over, and I don't hear nothing. I don't remember some bits. Yeah.
So I mean, just as well, you mentioned about that bad experience you had in the pub. Why then would your guide allow that to happen if they're there to protect you?
Because they never said a prayer.
Right.
And it's learning for me as well. Yeah.
So you got to look at it then as If you've got a security guard, or you've got a bodyguard, or you've got someone who's there to protect you,
Yeah.
if they're going to teach you a lesson, that's something you need to take forward and say that won't happen again.
No, it hasn't happened again. This was years and years ago when I was very first beginning to start learning with my trance, if you understand what I mean.
You were very young.
Yeah, I was very young.
Where can people find you if they want to book you for a reading or come and see you? Or
They can find me on my my group page. It is White Eagle Speaks and Heals. It's a trance group on Facebook, so please come and join that if you wish. And yeah, if you want to book a private reading, then message Trudy McHugh. Obviously, the reason why I explain that, because I don't want nothing, in the nicest possible way, I don't want nothing to do with you. So until the actual day of the reading.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't want any kind of
No, I don't want nothing. No, because
my thought of who they are.
Yeah.
So I'll put the details on. The details will be on the link as well.
Yep.
Here, be able to see. You go over to Stewart's Facebook page. He said White Eagle
Speaks in Hills, isn't it?
Yeah.
White Eagle Speaks in Hills. Yeah.
Go to the like the page, join the group, and also I'll put details on. You can contact. Really deals with.
I'm happy enough to do events and stuff like that. If people want me to do events on Zoom or anything like that, yeah.
Book Stewart for an event or for a reading. Head over to the group. Even if you just drop a line through the group, I'm sure Trudy will pick that up and on to respond to your message. What can I just say? It's been a pleasure being able to talk to you today. Stewart.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to you as well. Thank you for this opportunity.
I say, thank you for joining us on the Psychic Chat Show this week.
Thank you very much.